Good morning, class.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
Fine, and you?
I'm very good. Thank you for asking. So for today's class, we're going to start with the new work on the lesson 82 on page 461. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So I want you to repeat after me. Useful,
Useful.
useful,
Useful.
useless,
Useless.
useless,
Useless.
lost,
Lost.
lost,
Lost.
information,
Information.
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 Okay, for your knowledge, useful is something that helps us a lot. For example, this pen is useful to me because it helps me to explain to you some lessons. Okay, useless is the opposite of useful, which means that it doesn't help at all. Lost is what where we are unable to find something. For example, I don't know where my pen is. I have lost my pen because it's not on my hands, it's not on my ears. I lost it. Okay? And information is the knowledge we gain through studies and instructions. So, why it is useful to learn English? Why it's useful to learn English? It's useful to learn English so that we can chat with people from other countries. Excellent. Now, is an umbrella with holes in it useful? Is an umbrella with holes in it useful? No, an umbrella with holes in it isn't useful. It's useless. Of course. Now, is all the information you find on the internet useful? Is all the information you find on the internet useful? No, not all information we find on the internet is useful. Some information is useful and some information is useless. Very good. Now, which do you think is more useful to have when we are lost? A map or a phone? Which do you think is more useful to have when we are lost? A map or a phone? I think a map is more useful to have when we are lost than a phone. Very good. Now, again, repeat after me. Take off.
Take off.
Take off.
Take off.
Land.
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 Okay, the meaning of the word take off is when the plane, let's imagine that this is a plane, when the plane leaves the ground, so it is racing into the air. The plane is taking off. And land is the opposite of take off. Again, this is a plane, and the plane is landing, okay? Take off, land. Okay. Now, before a plane takes off or lands on an airport, what do passengers have to do? Before a plane takes off or lands at an airport, what do passengers have to do? Before a plane takes off or lands at an airport, passengers have to put their seatbelts on. Very good. Now, again, I want you to repeat after me. Afterwards.
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 So instead of saying after that, we can say afterwards. For example, the children finished watching the cartoons and afterwards they went to bed. Now, what can we say instead of after that? What can we say instead of after that? We can say afterwards instead of after that. Very good. Give me an example, please. Give me an example, please. The burgers in the restaurant were enormous. Nobody could eat a dessert afterwards. Very good. Now, we're having an English lesson, but what are you doing afterwards? Now, we are having an English lesson, but what are you going to do afterwards? Afterwards, I'm going home. Good. Now, again, I want you to repeat after me. Prepare.
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 Suitcase.
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 Pack.
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 Okay, the meaning of the word prepare is when you get ready your clothes all the objects you are going to take when you're going on a trip. For example, we are preparing our clothes to go on a short trip. Suitcase is the object we use to carry on our clothes. Okay, we fold our clothes and we put it into the suitcase. And pack is the action we do when we fold our clothes and put them into the suitcase. Now, if I buy food and drink, some balloons and a cake, what am I preparing for? If I buy food and drink, some balloons and a cake, what am I preparing for? If you buy food and drinks, some balloons and a cake, you are preparing for a birthday party. Okay, guys, that's everything for today's class. Thank you for coming. Bye bye.
Bye.